Hi, I'm glad you're here. So today we're in Philippians and we finish up chapter 1 today. And so we're in Philippians 1 verses 19 through 26, and it says, "For I know that this shall turn to my salvation through your prayer and the supply of the Spirit of Jesus Christ, according to my earnest expectation and my hope that in nothing I shall be ashamed, but that with all boldness, as always, so now also Christ shall be magnified in my body, whether it be in life or by death. For to me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. But if I live in the flesh, this is the fruit of my labor. Yet what I shall choose I wot not. For I am in the strait betwixt two, having a desire to depart and to be with Christ, which is far better. Nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is more needful for you. And having this confidence, I know that I shall abide and continue with you all for your furtherance and for the joy of faith, that your rejoicing may be more abundant in Jesus Christ for me by my coming to you again." So Paul's life is nothing but Christ. His life is completely centered around Jesus. And he states that, that Christ will be magnified whether it be by my life or by my death. And, it's such a true statement because we read of Paul's writings and we see what all he did when he preached the gospel, whether it in bonds or free, no matter what he had going on, no matter how people were treating him, he was spreading the gospel. And he said that Christ would be magnified whether by my life or by death. Well, during his whole lifetime, not his whole lifetime, because before he was converted, he was persecuting Christians. But then after that, he spent the rest of his life spreading the gospel, preaching the gospel, telling the good news, encouraging, and building churches. He just was centered on Christ. And then even after he's gone, in his death, we're still learning from him. We're learning from his writings. We're learning from all of the things that he did and that he's written. So even in death, the things that he is saying, we're learning from years and years ago. We're still learning from today. So even now, Christ is being magnified, even though he's gone. And he knows that to live is Christ and to die is gain. And he has that strong desire to be with Christ. But he also has that willingness to serve as long as he's alive. That's his goal, to serve Christ all the days of his life. He just has that willingness, that servant's heart, that he wants everyone that he comes in contact with, and those that he may not come in contact with, he wants them to know Christ. He wants them to have a life that was changed like his own life was changed. And, we read this and we just see the joy that he has for Christ. We see that joy that he has that is built on his faith in God. And so Christ is the source of Paul's continuous joy, even in prison, even in the beatings, the stonings, the shipwreck, everything that he has endured. Christ is still his joy. We talked about yesterday, we get a little setback and we want to quit or want to give up, and we see what Paul's life consisted of, and we give up too easy. He had it a whole lot harder than what we did or what we do, and his boldness and his determination to share the gospel at all cost, it's amazing. And we can be encouraged that we can also have that boldness, because everything he had comes from Christ and that relationship with him. His joy came from his faith in God, and there was no way he could have done any of those things without Christ as the center of his life, and just completely surrounded himself in it and just immersed himself in God. So we just need to have that same willingness, that willingness to serve, that willingness to share the gospel as long as we're here. And so I hope that leaves you something to think about today. And until next time, I will see you later. Thanks, guys.